opportunity, you lose out that it could spread to you, even though you've had the shots, you know,
Exactly.
and to the kids that can't get the shots yet.
Right.
Okay, I see Carl is got the slide up. It's 10 o'clock. And let's get ourselves, oh, we got 40 people.
Yeah.
Up.
41 or 40. I don't know.
Yeah. So let's wait another 2 minutes. And then we'll get going.
Your meeting is over?
No, just gonna get started in about a minute. So. The pre-meeting was. The main mute myself.
All right, let's start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and I would ask that anyone who is not scheduled to speak, please mute yourselves. And since these are a regular meeting, if you want to talk, raise your hand, the electronic hand, and we'll see it come up and at the appropriate time, as you know, call on you. So try to avoid just jumping in. I'd like to just welcome everybody. We've had our summer get-togethers, very informal, very open discussions, sometimes too open, but Steve, maybe at some point you want to remove them from the website and all, since they're past history and really irrelevant. We had about 12, generally about 12 people at each weekly meeting, and it was enjoyable. So now for the 30 or so of you guys that weren't with us during the summer, I want to welcome you back, and hopefully another 4 or 5 weeks, God willing, everything goes well, we'll be meeting live. Last check-in that we had last week, or earlier this week, in fact, with the Fish Church, they are indicating that at this point, everything is still a go for October live meetings at the Fish Church. But correct me, Dave, they're going to have a meeting in mid-September, I think the 21st, and we'll know on the 22nd what their decision is with their meeting with their board. But at this point, all the indications is that we're still going to go live with our first meeting in October.
Yep, that's it.
Thanks, Dave. So, looking forward to that. We'll have to check and see at that point what our break is going to look like. So maybe on the first live meeting, we might, just be able to socialize, and I don't know about refreshments or not, bottled water or something, but we'll have to play that part by ear. But if all goes well, we'll have our regular meeting starting with the 9:30 sessions, then go until noon. Okay, Bill, before we get started, you got your hand raised?
Yes, I did. Are you still gonna, if we do start in October, are you still gonna run the Zoom meetings also?
Well, that's kind of something that we got to discuss with the board on how, exactly, we'll go through that. We'll get to that point.
Okay.
But it's a good question. All right, Carl. Unfortunately, we had a few people pass away in the summertime, and Frank Newell, who died in June, towards the end of June, was 95 years old. He enlisted in the Navy while he was going to Iowa State University. Then he returned and graduated from Notre Dame with the degree in metallurgic engineering. He worked for General Electric, was an executive with Stamford Chemical in Westport, and briefly worked with Sacred Heart University. He was a prior member of the Notre Dame Glee Club and the SMAS Songsters, and Frank was an SAMS member for 25 years. And our second member that passed away was William Bill O'Brien. Bill died on August the 3rd at 92. He was a graduate of DePaul University in Chicago and came to Stanford in 1980, became credit manager for Champion International. And he enjoyed classical music, opera, and golf. And he was a past treasurer of SMAS and a 24-year member. So let's take a moment to remember them. Moment of silence. May their souls rest in peace. If anybody knew either of these gentlemen and would like to say anything, please jump in.
I will.
Go ahead, Howie.
I was friendly with Bill at the club. He loved talking golf with me. He played on my team for the outing once, and he was thrilled. He couldn't hit the ball for shit anymore, but he could still putt. So after we made him, got his 2 drives that we had to get on him, he was our designated putter. And he made some, he lost some, but he had a good time with it and he really enjoyed it. Always a very upbeat man. So I'll miss seeing him at the meetings. Rest in peace.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to the next slides, and we've got a few birthdays to go through, and congratulate all of our July birthdays, and most notably Dan Hyman, Gene Shapiro, Tom Van Gessel, Charlie Payne, Ed Schofield, Bud Spahn, and Murph Weingrad. And most especially Murph Weingrad at 102 years old. So those are our nonagenarians and our centenarians in July. In August, Jerry Babinski, Milt Sutton, Paul DiBartolomeo, Earl King, and Bruce Smith are nonagenarians. And our September, Bennett Brooks, Bob Havemeyer, Bill McGurr, and Alan Coleman turned 90 and 90 plus. Oh, Jerry, you want to do your thing?
Should I sing three times?
Let's just say happy birthday 3 times.
I'll try only one time for all 3 months. Happy birthday
Day
to
to you.
Happy
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
dear
dear
fellow.
fellow.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to you. Hey, thanks, Jer. Member anniversaries. 25-year members, Joe DiBartolo and Bill Johnson. Bill, you're here with us today, right?
Yes, I'm here.
Congratulations on 25 years. And hopefully you won't have to wait another year and a half to get your pin, another month, and you'll get your 25-year award. So congratulations, Bill.
Okay, looking forward to it.
15 years, Ray Feinland, Lou Safer, and Ed Roloff. Eddie, congratulations on 15 years.
Thank you, Joe.
And 10 years, Franco, Manny Berardo, Lloyd, Bob Hall, Bob Katz, and Larry Willinger. And Franco, Lloyd are with us today. Anybody else? Manny, Bob, or Bob, Larry? Okay. Lloyd and Franco, congratulations. And 5 years, a newbie, Dave.
Thanks,
Dave,
Joe.
congratulations on 5 years.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, just to go over our policy for all SMAS events is that everyone be fully vaccinated. And I guess the fully vaccinated is still the 2 shots, and it's not a requirement to get the booster shot. So we'll stay with requiring that you have both the COVID shots, or if you got a Johnson & Johnson in the one. And if not, that you be tested and have test results within 48 hours indicating that you're negative. And still, and I don't want to recommend that we're using the honor system. I think we're all in that place where, you know, we want to be protected, and that everybody, you know, is true and protect the members, and that we'll still stay with the honor system. We're not going to ask to show you cards. And as far as mask wear, I think you know, we still have to follow the guidelines. And right now, any gathering outdoors that's over 100 people or over, masks will be required. Indoor activities, I know in public buildings, masks will be required, so that whatever the state or local jurisdictions, I think the state now has left it up to local jurisdictions to determine what we're going to have to do. We will follow that, as well as whatever the venue requires. For example, if the Fish Church says that they want everybody to be fully masked, regardless of whether you got the vaccine or not, that will be, you know, what we will follow. So the alternative, if you don't like those requirements, quite frankly, don't come. we have to follow, our host's requirements, and that's it. Next slide. Okay. The board meeting, I've scheduled the board meeting immediately after next week's general meeting. And the main points on that meeting are when we go live, what is it going to look like? Over the summer, I appointed a subcommittee, Dave Kaplan, Stu Madison, Steve Fisher, Carl Funch, and Ed Roloff to discuss and what we could and couldn't do. And I want to really thank the 5 guys that were involved, because they really looked into it. They went to church and set up a mock meeting, and with what equipment was that we have available, that we didn't have to go out and spend a lot of money for to do it for a short period of time. So they've looked into that. They've come up with the recommendations, and they're going to make a presentation to the board, which we will review and after discussions with the board members, present.
Joe, please repeat the members of the subcommittee.
The subcommittee was Dave Kaplan and Carl. Dave was the chairman pro tem of that committee. Carl Funch, Steve Fisher, Stu Madison, and Ed Roloff.
Thank you.
And the idea was to keep it with the people that were primarily involved with the IT portion of it, and with the presentations that we would or would not do. And so they came up with some great ideas. And once we go that, then the following week we will bring it up to the membership and move on from there. But I think it'll be something that we can all live with at least for the next 4 or 5 months until things, it's always a static situation. So even though, we're looking at it, but things can change. Then the other issue is the songsters. What is their fall schedule going to look like? The fall holiday season, and Jerry has been looking into that with Margie, the music director, as well as all of the venues that they visited, as to whether it's going to be feasible or not. And he'll give a report on that at the board meeting. And based on that, we'll decide how we're going to move on for the next through the holidays. And then the activities, and Howie brought it up in earlier meeting about the holiday luncheon, and we'll make a decision on that based on, again, the venues and what we can or cannot do. I know we had a very successful luncheon at the Rock Rimmon Country Club in the spring with about 100 people attending. And that was very pleasant. I think everybody looked forward to it and enjoyed it when they were there. So I don't know, Howie, do you want to take a show of hands when you get into your session, or
Yes,
do you
I
want-
will.
Okay, good.
Or
We'll
you
have
can
a
do it
show of
yourself.
hands, non-committing, but at least get an idea of you know, the interest in a holiday luncheon. And then so those are the highlight, the main points that we want to get through on that board meeting. So we'll keep you all informed as we go along.
Joe, this is Carl. It's probably been pointed out elsewhere, but I highlighted September 15th. This next week's meeting will be on Wednesday, and the board meeting will follow the Wednesday Zoom meeting.
Yes. Yeah. We were going to have, you know, this is unusual. We've moved the September 15th, 16th meeting to the 15th because the Thursday is the High Holy Day, Yom Kippur. And we didn't want to conflict with that. And because there's so much happening in the next month or so that we want to get information out, and we decided to move the meeting to a Wednesday. So mark on your calendars, and Steve will, when he sends out the reminders, we'll highlight it that the meeting next week is a Wednesday because of the holiday. So thanks, Carl, for bringing that up. Okay, our speaker today is Jim Campbell, and he'll be talking about the untold story behind Bernie Madoff and his Ponzi scheme, and how he will bring, or Stu will bring us bring more information on that when his slide comes up. Okay. All right, Stu.
Morning, guys. Welcome back from the summer vacation. Hope you're all doing well. We've got a great lineup of speakers coming up for the year. Before I go through the list, I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that we've got speakers scheduled already through the end of February. And I wanted to thank the committee members for really doing a great job in coming up with some extremely interesting discussions and conversations on some unique kind of topics. I wanted to thank Dave Kaplan, John Cohen, Carl Shapiro, and Ed Roloff for really helping out and coming up with a good line of speakers. Beginning with, again, I'll repeat, next Wednesday, we'll be meeting, and the first speaker will be Amos Giora. He's a professor, and he's got an extremely interesting discussion on what he calls complicity in the bystander. You know, we've all been in or have heard of situations that occur where bystanders do nothing, and all the repercussions of that. Really interesting talk. I know firsthand, I did hear his presentation, I guess now about 9 or 10 months ago, through another organization. It was a very interesting talk, so I think you'll all like that. The following week, the 23rd, no meeting. The picnic will be that day, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. The 30th, the last Thursday in September, Les DeVillers will talk about his African safari. He's done a number of safaris. He gave us a list of things we could pick from, and we let him pick it. So I think it'll be extremely interesting to hear his talk, which he calls Hemingway on steroids, an African safari. Now, hopefully, October 7th will be our first live meeting at the Grace Church. Dr. Susan Herbst is the president emeritus at UConn. And basically, she'll talk about whatever's going on and is currently in the school. So it's a good lineup, and have a great day.
Ira,
Good morning, everybody. It's been a while, but you have received the minutes of our last meeting, which was on June 24th. And I'll assume there are no corrections or additions since I haven't heard from anybody. Therefore, I'm gonna turn it over to Joe to cast a vote of acceptance for everybody.
okay, I so moved. I haven't heard anything either, so consider the meeting minutes of June 24th approved.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Sue, I just got a chat with a very good question. The picnic is rain or shine. We'll be at the Cove Island, and it'll be rain or shine.
Thanks, Stu.
Good morning.
Howie, you're on.
I would like to first thank the people that run these discussion groups. Art Feldman, who we almost had today, but he had a IT problem. Joe Mattel for getting Laurie Price for us. Joe D for running it. And I'd like to also, besides thank Bob Butke for doing it, offer an apology because I screwed him up on the time for this month. So I may have him run overtime on the next one, but Bob, I'm sorry. We appreciate all these guys and gals who do this work for us for the discussion groups. Thank you. As you can see, on the 15th, we're gonna have Lori, and on the 30th, we'll have Joe D, because everyone's gonna be at the picnic at the in between. Thank you. Next slide, please.
Thanks. Howie, Carl.
Okay, Tai Chi has gone pretty well. We had pretty much every session during the summer except for one that was rained out. We've got a commitment to do September from the people that have participated, and I'd like to just take an opportunity to invite anybody who wants to try it for the first time to join us this Monday to try it out, because we're going to try to do Tai Chi throughout the fall. And we have some people that have kind of dropped out, but we have enough so far. But I think as the weather gets cooler, some people may lose interest, but we'll try to go at least maybe through November if possible, weather permitting. So anybody interested who wants to try it for the first time, please feel free to come. It's complimentary, and would love to have you join us. And have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Carl. Okay, Carl F.
All right, yesterday we had beautiful weather, and the participation was back pretty close to our average, and we were at Waveney Park. Next week, we are going to be on Tuesday, the 14th, because a meeting is moved to the 15th. So we're doing a walk on Tuesday at Cove Island Park. Rain or shine, guys.
Okay, Howie, back to you.
We had the luncheon on June 30th. It was done by Larry Holtzman. I gave him all the credit. We had a great turnout. As you can see, we got pictures. I don't know who this guy is, but we have some very nice pictures. The room was delightful. We had tables of 8, which is what I'm hoping to do for the next one. As you can see, everyone seems happy. Continue, please. Here's the, now you notice that Larry arranged the quiz so he would win. But being we were kicking him out of town, we decided to let it go through. It was all very well done. Everyone had a good time. Carl, please. The golf tournament. We had winners, we had losers, but everybody won. It was great. The luncheon went very well. I guess green was the color that day, or blue, one or the other. But everyone seemed to enjoy themselves. And while on the spring one, we'll talk on the fall one in a minute or two when it's time comes up. But everyone had a good time. Thank you. Stu?
Okay, as you can see, picnic for the 23rd at Cove Island, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, it will be a rain or shine event. Cost is $50 for a couple, 25 for per person. I would like to call the signups over this coming Monday. So please, if you intend to go to the picnic, send me a check in the mail, please. Give me a call, send me an email that you're going to do it. If you're not going to, if you decided you're not going to go, let me know that too. Send me an email, stu.madison@optonline.net, just to tell me you're not coming, because we're trying to get a good feel on the numbers, to tell the caterer how much food to buy and to make. So please let me know what you're going to do. And if you don't send me the money, I mean, we will accept walk-ins. So if you didn't pay and you decide last minute you want to go, that's okay. I think George will have enough extra food to handle any people who come in as walk-ins. Next slide. Okay. Some general information I wanted to go through. Parking will be free. The city has allowed me to make a parking permit that you will all get in an email from me within the next week. Print it out, stick it on your dashboard, and that will pass muster. Okay, I've been in contact with the permitting office, and they have approved that permit. Anyone who needs a ride from the parking lot to the pavilion, you should call Mark Funt, and Mark is at, if you want to write this down, 203-536-1676. And he'll come on over and pick you up and bring you to the pavilion and bring you back. If you're going to do that, use that service, please wear a mask. Okay, masks required in the car. I have here, watch out for the politicians. Obviously the mayor will be there. He'll be talking to us about the state of Stamford. He will not be making a political commentary to us directly. Carolyn Simmons indicated that she is going to come. That may change next Tuesday, because if she doesn't win, I don't know if she wants to show up with our picnic. But anyway, she's indicated she's going to come. I've got a pretty firm, not quite a commitment from Bobby Valentine, who intends to be there. His handle actually called me and asked me how you get tickets. So looks like Bobby's going to show up. At least he'll try. We have some really good raffle prizes, stuff you'll just get by a drawing of a ticket, which you will get when you arrive. They're all worth about $100. So those should be some very worthwhile raffle prizes. We also have quite a few of the silent auction items for the 14 or so restaurants around town who have graciously given us, in some cases, very valuable certificates, a couple of them for $100. The number there is wrong. We now have an attendance of about 98 people who have either paid or committed to pay. So this is good news and bad news. The good news is we have 98. We'll probably end up with over 100. The bad news is we'll be over 100. Therefore, it'll by city law, city ordinance, we must wear masks. With outdoor events with over 100 people require masks. So if we're over 100, masks. We'll let you know how the count is coming. As Joe mentioned earlier, all of our events, you got to be fully vaccinated, and that's the scoop.
Or tested still within 48 hours.
Okay, or tested, right? And lastly, please talk to your significant others, your girlfriends, your wives, both, whatever, to bring a dessert. That would be very much appreciated. And it should be a great day. Hopefully the weather will be good. It certainly won't be burning hot. Hopefully it'll be very pleasant. We'll have games. Joe, Bocce set. We'll have things to do. So it'll be a great time to get together. And that's it for the picnic. Send money
Still,
now.
still,
Yes.
please repeat Mark Fund's phone number.
Mark Fund's phone number is 203-536-1676. That's his cell number.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Stu, just the parking pass on the dashboard, how is that going to be supplied?
Oh, I'll be sending an email within the next few days of instructions for everything. I'll be sending one email to the people who have paid, which will describe what the procedures will be, and a separate email to all others who have not paid, what they might do if they decided to come. So, and part of that email is a separate page to print out as the permit. You actually have 2 copies.
I'm going to ask that we move it right along because we do have a lot to go through in very short time. Carl, on membership?
Okay, we'll keep it very short. No new members over the summer, which is not unexpected. And we had the 2 members passing, so our membership is actually down now to 210. Nothing new to report beyond that.
Thank you. Fellowship, Dave?
Yeah, so quickly, welcome back, everybody. Hope this has been a good summer for all of you, despite the challenges that COVID has imposed. From speaking to many of you, I know that there have been many happy events to celebrate. So I would ask that you speak up now so that we can all share the good news. We all have bragging rights, so let's have it. Anybody?
David, can I add some not such good news?
Sure.
If you noticed on the birthdays, Bruce Smith celebrated his 97th birthday. Bruce unfortunately passed away yesterday.
Oh,
So he is no longer with us.
well, thanks for letting us know,
That's the
Jerry.
same Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith, yes.
Bruce Smith, yeah.
Long time Stamford resident, part of the Still May drugstore people. It goes back well into Stamford lore, and there is a obit in today's Advocate.
Okay, well, thank you for that, Jerry. We'll send out a condolence card to family. And speaking of that, anybody else? Well, if not, I want to thank the many of you who have notified me over the summer with news of our fellow members that I should follow up, which we have done. Much appreciated. And importantly, it allowed us to stay in touch with members experienced both good and tough times. And regarding the actions we've taken over the summer, we did send condolence cards to the families of Frank Newell and Bill O'Brien. I had extended phone conversations with both Marie and Rita. They both expressed how much SMAS meant to Frank and Bill and asked that I convey their thanks to the group. Some other sad news, we send our condolences to Carl Martino. He recently lost a very close first cousin's wife, Rosemary Giuliani. In fact, I think Carl is at Mass and the funeral service as we speak. On a happier note, I've been working my way through sending out congratulatory birthday cards to our bumper crop of 90 and over members. I'm up to September now. And thank you, Jerry, for letting me know. We certainly are a vibrant group. So as you can see from this slide, we've added several names to our list of members who would appreciate a call. Alan Coleman is dealing with some health issues that are limiting his getting out and about, and truly would appreciate hearing from the rest of us. Also, Bob Dreesen recently had an accident and is recovering from that. He told me last week that as much as he would like to come to the picnic, he probably is not going to be able to do so. And the rest of the guys on the list I've been in touch with. They're doing well despite the constraints of COVID, but still would like to have some calls. David Wolf, week before last, had a total knee replacement. And again, he is doing well, but would appreciate a call. So that's basically it for me, unless there are other news items that you'd like to report. Thank you.
Moving Dick Harper.
Good morning. As you can see on the screen, we're going to read Cast, which is probably a little bit controversial, by Isabel Wilkerson. And she's making the claim that caste still really exists in the present day. So that's what I think will be kind of a focus of discussion. And then a very interesting book, The Code Breaker by Walter Isaacson, who of course writes a lot of interesting books, is with a scientific bent, looking at the life code of people. So that'll get us in a different direction. So happy reading.
Thank you, Dick. Before we get into Joel, I think Howie, we didn't take that quick show of hands. So real quick, raise that hand on your
Check
control
mark.
panel if you're interested in coming to a holiday luncheon.
Please use the check mark or the X, not the hand, because we'll get a count on that.
Oh, the check mark. Okay. Well, visually we can.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, well, the hand showed up too. Okay.
Yeah, whatever shows up. I mean, visually.
Right now, we've got 10 that say 11 that say they will. One says no. So I guess
This is non-committal. I mean, even if you're thinking that you might want to go, just so.
we've got about 15 people that are saying yes right now.
And double that almost.
The rest are abstaining.
17 people are using different things. So we got about 18 people so far.
18, yeah, so that's maybe 30 or so, Howie.
That's 18 out of 47.
Yeah, so.
We're going to have to talk at the board meeting.
But
Yeah.
the others
Okay,
are,
thank you. Joel, can you really run
Sure.
through? I know there's a lot of slides there, but if you can.
No. I'll do it quickly. I want to, you guys, I want to introduce you to Learning in Retirement. LIR is a non-sectarian, volunteer-run nonprofit that offers 1-hour Zoom lectures on a variety of topics 2 or 3 times a week throughout the fall semester. Next slide, please. Here's some on art, some other topics, industry, literature, economics. Next slide, please. Current events. Yes, of course. Political science, music, history. Next slide, please. Here we go. Good. Just scan them. Economics, of course. Law, foreign events, and more. Movies, field trips. Next. Registration has already begun. Classes start next Monday. Next. Two or three webinars a week starting at 10 a.m. Final slide. To register, go to our website, Stamford.org. The cost, $8 per Zoom per lecture. No subscription fee, no membership fee, just $8 for each sign up. Any questions? Stamford.org.
These slides are available on the website for the meeting, so you can run through the meeting slides and
And they're also available on the website, larstamford.org.
thank you, Joe.
Welcome.
Okay, Stu is our presenter with us.
Was it a few minutes ago?
Yes, I have a question while we're getting connected. I volunteered to help somebody with volunteer for bocce at Scalzi on Saturday. Was that somebody from SMAS I volunteered with?
Yeah, yeah. 9 o'clock,
And who do we meet? Is this Joe?
Joe, yeah.
Okay, I'll look for you then. Thanks.
Steve, do you see Jim on? Just emailed him about an hour ago, so I know he's around.
You told him 10:45?
10:45. Just emailed his administrator.
He's here.
Jimmy,
I don't see his name up.
Jimmy, you there?
I see him on the last page 3.